How should I introduce y'all? As the Van Winkle family? Does that work? Okay. Great. I will call you forward when it's time.
All right. So do you want me? So is there anything you want me to do?
I think we're good. I think we are good. Thank you very much. I can't remember. Are you a hugger or no? Hugger. That's what I need to do this service. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing, Teddy? I'm so glad to see you. School over?
That really sounds awesome. Would you like a chair up here?
I'll just sit at the picnic table.
Okay. Then it was.
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna rain. It's not going to now.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have to run
Sounds good.
inside.
It's not going to.
Oh,
If it does, yes.
I just love your shirt though. Black lights.
Right?
If it does, you grab Zach
Yeah.
and run through there. We will do it under the portico on the driveway. On the driveway. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our other covered space. Yes. It's good to have plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see me just plugging. Yeah.
I'll grab whatever you tell me.
And I'll give you an hour.
Is this good?
Okay.
Different kind of thing.
Aren't they all beautiful pets?
He's like 15.
Yeah, there's a
Black is like 2.
Oh wow. Yeah, I bet you they totally love the big bite.
The old one is just like stay away from me or I will get
Well, we can
like
sit
right up.
over here.
We can sit by the puppies. Yeah, that's fine.
You can get it just that happens, I got this.
Should have brought it.
Can I show you with this pup? This? Don't drink from
Yes,
it,
we
okay?
tried to figure out what it is.
It's gonna be you.
I don't think Mike was able to figure it out.
If anything
It's the
bad
mic.
happens,
We're good.
if nothing bad happens,
Okay. So we just gotta make sure it turns out.
I mean, I just turned it down.
Oh.
I think it'll.
that was a
It might
fire.
be extra feedback. It might just be extra feedback. Jeez.
Want me to get more?
We may put you on a committee.
Yeah.
Yesterday when we were out just practicing, it was like raised.
Yeah, it was pretty human when I walked outside to see if I could wear shorts or not.
Yeah, I also got some. I also got some rocks from the little people now.
It's just a little freaky.
It's school crossing.
No, no cats.
Make sure that anything doesn't fall over.
Great.
Right back up. And make sure no fear.
Yep.
And if there does happen, rush, jaguar, splash.
Okay. Do you want to sit here so you can be right in the front? I will not. Sure. But we don't disturb the service. This is my idea.
What is this right here?
To cover all of the, because people will be bringing their animals up so that they can track.
a little thing on their head.
Well, I mean, nothing, just petting.
Oh, I see. Oh my god, that's such a beautiful dog. That's so like seeing people with their pets, it's like their personalities a little bit.
Yes. Yes, our dog is all over the place and completely misbehaved with her owners.
Aw. She's so loving. She just wants to share. Oh yeah. School's over.
Oh, yes.
I did
You
it.
survived your first year.
I'm so happy that it's over. Yeah, but not for another year after that. I've already put my foot down. It's not going to be possible. But it's okay.
Yeah, but next year.
Yeah, it'll be better too. Everything, it's all okay.
My dog Titus is exactly like that, but
Okay.
but
Let's go ahead and start fighting.
a lot more. Good morning. It is lovely to see all of the animals here today, including the four-legged ones. Glad that you could be here. Something that we often say at Live Oak is that we are always in beta, and today we are really going to lean into that. But we are glad that you are here. Please rise either in body or in spirit for our gathering hymn. Hopefully you grabbed the lyrics to that. All creatures of the earth and sky. Long and Please be seated. So good morning and welcome, beloved community. I'm Reverend Joanna. In this sacred space, we gather as one, celebrating the tapestry of our diversity, honoring the boundless love that unites us all. Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church is unambiguously, unapologetically progressive, and our doors swing wide to embrace all who seek a welcoming place where we celebrate the LGBTQIA+ community, where we know that every identity is a divine expression of humanity, where we commit to the work of dismantling systemic racism and other oppressions, striving for a world where equity, compassion, and justice are the cornerstones of our shared existence. Today's service is obviously going to be a little different. We welcome all of the non-human beasts in our midst, and keeping in mind their limits and our own with the heat, this will be a little bit shorter than our normal services. And I want to give a special welcome to any visitors that we have today, in person or online. Next Sunday, June 2nd, you have the opportunity to learn even more about Live Oak at our Exploring Membership class, which is hosted by the membership team and me, and is held in the library after Sunday's service. That's next Sunday. We unite with Unitarian Universalist churches around the world by lighting our flaming chalice, which is the symbol of our religion. And today, the Van Winkle family is going to be lighting our chalice. And here and at home, we light it today with these words by Florence Caplow. We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hoofed, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame. May we remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and respect. And thank you very much, Curtis. You managed to get two big fan groups today, both those who just watched the most recent Doctor Who, and of course, those who have been watching Outlander. We'll talk about it later and I'll explain it. For the past 31 years, Live Oak has been a beacon of acceptance, love, and inclusivity in an area where our values often challenge the status quo. In a world where divisiveness and intolerance seem to grow stronger, we firmly believe in the transformative power of our faith and the positive impact that we are having in our area. We invite you to make a financial contribution to help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large and small, is appreciated appreciated and carefully used in service to our mission. Let this time of offering be a reflection of our shared commitment to making a positive impact on the world and a reminder that our Unitarian Universalist values guide us not only in our beliefs but also in our actions. Thank you for your presence and your contributions to our ongoing journey of building the beloved community here and in our wider parish.
Good morning. Tomorrow's a holiday. I wonder how many people, who knows what tomorrow's holiday is? Anybody want to yell it out? Is it Memorial Day? What do you think, Teddy? Memorial Day. Yeah, it's Memorial Day tomorrow. And we consider this to be Memorial Day weekend. So Memorial Day in the United States is a holiday to remember people who died while serving in our military. It's different from Veterans Day, which is a time to honor everyone who served in our military, living or dead. Do you know not just humans serve in the military? As today is our blessing of the animals, it seems only right to take a moment to thank all the animals that have been enlisted into our battles for their commitment to a job, to their moments of bravery, and to the comfort that they give to the people caught in conflicts far away from home. I admit to feeling a great sense of sadness that they are there at all, but tremendous gratitude that they give so much to those who need them. So this morning I want to share with you a few of the amazing animals who have served in our U.S. military. First, I want to tell you about Sergeant Stubby. You like that name? Sergeant Stubby, America's most famous war dog. Stubby was a street dog in Connecticut when he came across some soldiers training for World War I. He was taken along on their deployment to France and helped save his division in numbers of ways, including warning the team of bombs, locating and standing by injured soldiers until they were served, and even finding a German spy. He was presented with a gold medal by the Humane Education Society in the White House ceremony and met Presidents Woodrow Wilson, Calvin Coolidge, and Warren Harding. Wow. You know what else he could do? He could, whenever he saw a soldier salute, he would stand up on his back paws and lift his paw over his eye. Is that cool? He also would stand at attention. He was a cool dog. And then there was Smokey. Smokey was a Yorkshire Terrier. Yorkshire Terriers are tiny. When you think of military dogs, you don't think about a little tiny dog, do you? This 4-pound dog served in World War II, and after she was found by Corporal William Wynn, Smokey was taught tricks like barrel rolling, tightrope walking, even spelling her name with colored blocks, and bringing the troops great joy. And when her partner got sick and had to go to the hospital, she went with them, and she entertained all the sick soldiers in the military hospital. Smokey was credited with 12 combat missions, awarded 8 battle stars, and helped engineers build an airbase by helping to run wire through 70-foot pipes. She also is recognized as the first therapy dog in the U.S. military. And then there's Luca. Now, Luca is a German-Belgian Malinois mix, and they served 6 years in the Marine Corps, deploying twice to Iraq and once to Afghanistan, trained to detect explosives. Luca participated in over 400 missions. She was granted the Dickin Medal by the PDSA and gifted an unofficial Purple Heart plaque by a fellow Marine who also had received the medal. And then there's Sally. Sally was a Staffordshire Terrier. Sally was the mascot of the 11th Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry during the Civil War. She was in tons of different battles, including the infamous Battle of Gettysburg. At one point, Sally went missing for approximately 3 whole days, and she was found at the end guarding her soldiers. Sally was honored in 1890 by a bronze statue enacted at Gettysburg that still stands there today. There are so many other stories of bravery that I found about cats, homing pigeons, horses, even an eagle who served during the Civil War, rats, mice, dolphins. It's incredible. Unfortunately, we can't name every single military animal, but today we take this time to thank and remember each one of those and their valiant efforts that have done so much for their human companions on and off the battlefield. They are truly a blessing.
Gilead by Marilyn Robinson is a novel, and it takes the form of a letter or a journal that a dying elderly Congregationalist minister in Gilead, Iowa writes to his 7-year-old son in 1956, written so that one day the boy will know something about his father's life and character. And in this passage, Reverend John Ames reflects on a moment from his own childhood. Now, this might seem a trivial thing to mention, considering the gravity of the subject, but I truly don't feel it is. We were very pious children from pious households in a fairly pious town, and this affected our behavior considerably. Once, we baptized a litter of cats. It occurred to one of the girls to swaddle them up in a doll's dress. There was only one dress, which was just as well, since the cats could hardly tolerate a moment in it and would have to have been unsaddled as soon as they were christened in any case. I myself moistened their brows, repeating the full Trinitarian formula. Their grim, old, crooked-tailed mother found us baptizing away by the creek and began carrying her babies off by the napes of their necks. We lost track of which was which, but we were fairly sure that some of the creatures had been borne away still in the darkness of paganism. He was a Christian, and that worried us a great deal. I still remember how those warm little brows felt under the palm of my hand. Everyone has petted a cat, but to touch one like that with the pure intention of blessing it is a very different thing. It stays in the mind. For years, we would wonder what, from a cosmic viewpoint, we had done to them. It still seems to me to be a very valid question. There is a reality in blessing. It doesn't enhance sacredness, but it acknowledges it, and there is a power in that. I have felt it pass through me, so to speak. The sensation is one of really knowing a creature. I mean, really feeling its mysterious life and your own mysterious life at the same time. So, I am not a medical doctor. I don't have the power to give medical prescriptions, and that's a good thing. But I am deeply concerned about the emotional and mental and spiritual health of you and myself and everyone in our larger parish. And so because of that, if I were to give a prescription that would address all of those things, it would be this: get a pet, get an animal. Every time any sort of research study is done about the effects of animals, pets, on humans, the results are always unambiguous. They always come back and show that pets are so beneficial for us. And they can help us in so many different ways. I have known people who needed the motivation to be doing more exercise. And they were told by their doctor, well, why don't you get a dog? Because dogs are going to be letting us know in no uncertain terms that they need to be walked and cared for. People who are dealing with isolation, pets help them. There's some very interesting research about the power of a cat purring. If you struggle with anxiety or sort of a jitteriness, there is something about having a cat sitting on your lap purring that mixes with your own nervous system to help you calm down. Same thing, by the way, they're not that much fun to pet, but with fish in a tank. That's why you so often will see little aquariums at doctor's offices and hospitals. The research has shown that simply watching fish swim around does something to our own nervous system to make us feel less anxious, calmer, and at peace. Animals seem to have, they are teachers, and they seem to have an effect on us, different effects throughout our entire lives. If you were a child and were so lucky as to have a pet, your pet most likely, if you followed sort of normal human growth and development, your pet probably helped you learn about what it means to be kind when you are the person who has more power. It is very common for children, and definitely I was one, to tease our animals or to baptize them or put them in little bonnets or such. And at a certain point, what happens is you start realizing that there are consequences to what you do with this animal, that your animal, you are teaching them to trust you or not to. And that when you tease a little bit too hard, you lose their trust. And it can take a while to have to get that back, to earn that back. Elderly, who often get to a stage of life where they are wondering, do I still have anything left to give? When they have an animal, or when simply pets are brought around to where they're living so that they can give them little pets, little nuzzles, and the animal responds, and it sends the message of, as long as you are living, you can give love and receive love in response to that. So I'm so glad that you brought your animals here today. A little bit later in the service, I'm going to be inviting you forward. We're going to come up here, we'll kind of make a line so that I can give a blessing to your animal and to you. Stuffies and photos are also welcome up here. And as it says in the reading, it doesn't enhance sacredness, but it acknowledges the sacredness that is already there. I invite you now to join me in a time of reflection in word and in silence. And if you would like to, you are welcome to close your eyes so that you may go inward. This is Grateful for Creatures from A to Z by Gary Kowalski. We give thanks for the earth and its creatures, and are grateful from A to Z, for alligators, apricots, acorns, and apple trees, for bumblebees, bananas, blueberries, and beagles, coconuts, crawdads, cornfields, and coffee, daisies, elephants, and flying fish, for groundhog, glaciers, and grasslands, hippos and hazelnuts, icicles, and iguanas, for juniper, jackrabbits, and junebugs, kudzu, and kangaroos, lightning bugs, and licorice, for mountains and milkweed and mistletoe, narwhals and nasturtiums, nasturtiums, otters, and ocelots, for peonies and persimmons and polar bears, quahogs and Queen Anne's lace, for raspberries and roses, salmon and sassafras, tornadoes and tulip wood, urchins and valleys and waterfalls, yaks and yams and yogurt. We are grateful, good earth, not least of all for zinnias, zucchini, and zebras, and for the alphabet of wonderful things that are as simple as ABC. And let us hold that for a moment together in sacred stillness. Amen, and blessed be. And would you join me in singing meditation on breathing? When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. This community is a chosen village where our lives are interconnected. Part of the tapestry of this communal journey is sharing the significant milestones, joys, and sorrows in our lives and witnessing the diversity we hold. One of us may be celebrating a life event while another is mourning a grief. And there's a beauty in that mosaic as we are reminded that these moments of life are transient and ever-changing. And today, he didn't put anything in joys and sorrows, but I will share with you that our music director just completed his first year teaching middle school choir. May this community draw closer with our shared experiences as we celebrate life's triumphs and navigate its trials together. And as we move into the animal blessing, I offer this by Maureen Killeran. Blessed are all living things. For the blessing of animal companions, we give thanks. For the beautiful ones, those whose fur is silky and whose tails are long, whose feathers are brilliant or whose voices are splendid, we give thanks. For the frantic ones, the runts and the hungry who run for a food bowl or a pat as though this is life's last possible gift, we give thanks. For the obnoxious ones, the heads that butt against us as we're trying to sleep, the bodies that refuse to learn discretion as they make digestive gifts, we give thanks. For those who bark and purr and growl and mew, for all who squeak or squawk or snarl or hiss, we give thanks. For the animals unknown to us, those whose niche in life's web is fragile, whose lives are insecure, for all who care for them and wish them well, we give thanks. Blessed are the animals. Blessed are the creatures who live with us and need our care. Blessed are the mammals and the reptiles and the birds who teach us that we are not alone. Blessed are all living things from whom we learn to love. And I invite you now to bring your pets forward.
This is Egon. This is actually Crystal's mom. Yeah. Okay. Egon, you are already blessed because you have such an extensive family who loves you. Full
Okay, so what do we have here?
We have chili is on the left of us.
Can we talk about it after the service? We're still doing the service. Careful. I'd love to hear it. I love the fact that the McPhersons said, well, we thought of bringing the confessional for our dogs. Our pets fill our hearts, and when their too brief time with us is over, we may feel as profound a sorrow as when we lose any loved one. In fact, from my experience as a pastor, and it's so crazy, we often feel guilt. You know, we'll say, oh, it's just a pet. But we often feel that death more frequently simply because our pet never, our pet doesn't live several states away. Our pet doesn't go off to work. And so we are aware of their absence often with every breath that we take. After this service, if you have lost a pet recently, I invite you to join me at our pet memorial garden, which is right over there. You'll see some painted stones, and where we will do a ritual where we will pay witness to our sadness and celebrate the gifts that these animals brought to our lives. And as Henri Frederick Emile says, life is short. We don't have much time to gladden the hearts of those who walk this way with us, so be swift to love and make haste to be kind.
Now we realize a lot of you are going to be taking your little fur buddies home right afterwards, but for those of you that aren't, the invitation to faith development this morning in the fellowship hall, we have a few spiritual practices for you to engage in. One is some coloring sheets of the blessing of the animals. There's some with UU animals, and there's one with St. Francis of Assisi. And I invite you as you color to bring all that love into your coloring and meditate and bless the animals yourselves as you color. We also have a poppy wreath. If you'd like to make a poppy wreath to hang on your door for tomorrow for Memorial Day, we also have that craft in the in the fellowship hall. And again, remembering those, bringing them to mind, bringing them to your heart, of all those who have served and who are special to all of us. Thank you.
And Teddy, can I get your help, please, in extinguishing the chalice? By the way, I believe this is the newest member of our safety team. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. And I am very excited to make an announcement about next week's service. I invite you all back. We will be inside next week. And for anyone who happens to be on TikTok, you will probably know this name, Marcy Marie. She has a big TikTok following. She spent 10 years in the Texas prison system and has become a big advocate for prison reform. She has even been on Rosie O'Donnell's podcast, and I'm going to be asking her some questions about that. And so she will be with us next Sunday for our worship service. It has been a gift to be together today. Please spend the next 5 minutes talking with someone whom you don't yet know very well. And members, please introduce yourselves to any first-time visitors we have. They're the ones with the handwritten name tags, and show them where the visitors table and everything else is. And may we all know the blessings of friendship. Thank you for being here today. Oh, and we have an announcement, a very important announcement from our home team coordinator, Nancy Sheehy.
Okay, I am not a visitor. I don't know where my name tag is. I may have to make another one. I want to say that first. So, I am home team, if the welcoming committee here needs to be expanded. I have a radical proposal, and I want you first to think about all of you, even if this is your first time, when you came through the doors. for the first time as a new person, how did you feel? What did people do or not do to help you feel comfortable and welcome? I have a proposal for every single one of us. Okay. As you can see, support for being on a welcoming team is dwindling, not because the intent isn't there, but we all get busy, right? And in line with our UU values, we know we need each other. We all have a unique spirit, and we have to nurture that unique spirit. It may not be a traditional spirit, but we welcome everybody. And in line with that, we need to shine on in our own unique individual way. And what a great way to practice this as a UU visitor, member, sometime coming, sometime not, whatever. But as Reverend Joanna always says, shine on. And we need to nurture that in ourselves. We can't develop our spirit in a vacuum. We do need community. Okay, the next 4 months through September have 18 Sundays. What if everyone coming to UU Live Oak would commit to at least 1 hour on one Sunday of service to its community and our visitors? 1 hour of one of 18 Sundays. That may be the hour before the service. There's a list of duties that you can see on, guess what, a sign-up table in there for each one of those Sundays. What if you would commit to just 1 hour? So my proposal for Operation Radical Welcome is each of us, members, non-members, young and old, signs up for at least 1 hour on a Sunday. The logistics, it's going to be broken into 3 hours, and no worries, I will contact you. We will set it up. We will always have at least 2 people on each Sunday that know what we're doing. I'm working on a handbook for anyone that participates, which means all of us, that'll be online. You're not going to be alone. So in there where it's cool and you could grab some coffee or some ice water, you can, okay, I lost my place. So the 18 boards are representing each Sunday from now through September. Beside the sign-up sheet for each board for each Sunday is a list of generally what is done in the hour that you sign up for, but you don't have to sign up for anything specific within that time. Now this is a chance for all of us to participate in the first principle of UU, which is my favorite, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Not just visitors, but each of us. Maybe you're an introvert. Well, you could make coffee. You don't know how to make coffee. You could learn how to make coffee. There's always something to do. I want to call it radical hospitality. And let us all, in our unique way, create a culture of belonging for everyone. Let's create a movement. Let's create a path for each of us to unlock our transformational capacity to serve the world with love. We can all help honor the preciousness of life in our little corner of the world, no matter how dark and bleak things look on the outside. It starts with each one of us right here, and we need you. Okay, thank you.